Yo, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a portable Ableton push stand, what you can quickly disassemble and throw in a bag ready for your travels. So if you'd like to see that, stay tuned. In a previous video of mine, you might have watched where I made this stand for my Ableton push. If you didn't watch it, the link's going to be up here. If you did watch it, thank you for the support. To be honest, it's made using the push 100% more enjoyable. Like, I'm not hunched over anymore, I can see the screen when I'm sat back, but it's not really made to be taken to pieces and then put back together. It's just, that's a fixed stand as it is. I wanted to make one so I can chuck it in my bag for working away. So I've come up with the idea of making a portable stand, what you can assemble and disassemble with no screws. It's going to be relatively easy to make. So what we're going to need to create this portable stand is a length of wood, saw, a pencil, sliding bevel, file, square, chisels, tape measure. The length what I'm using is 190mm wide, which to me that's a little bit too wide, because if I made the stand at that height, it's going to probably be around that sort of angle, which is far too high. I only want it to have a slightly. First job what we've got is to rip this down to the width what we want it. Wood's ripped down. Next job is to grab your pencil, grab your wood, sit your push on top. I'd say maybe around there. You want to be sitting the wood roughly around where you want this front leg to be sat. I'm thinking around there, around that point. Then line it through with the top corner, so twist your push round until it's around the same, all the way diagonal. Put a little pencil mark on top, got a nice little pencil mark there, and we need to cut that back. Take your square that down, and on the other side, then we'll chop that. Place your thumb on the pencil mark and just pull the saw back 3 times. That's the first piece, which should look something like this. Slight little bevel on the top, doesn't have to be 100% perfect, depends how much OCD you've got. So that piece should line up flush with the top there, and then you should have some sticking out at the bottom. We need 2 of these, exactly the same. So what we'll do is we will sit your top piece of wood onto the other piece of wood and flush them up, make sure they're square, and then draw a little pencil mark at the bottom. Get your square that through. When we're cutting, side what's got the chamfer off, so you're keeping the straight edge on the front. Then take the bevel, sit that onto the angle, tighten that up, basically imitating that angle. The same for both pieces of wood. That way. In a cross, you want them to be both running straight. You want to take that angle there and apply that to the top side of the wood. From that pencil, from where the pencil line comes down, from that corner point there, you're going to be taking your square, drawing a straight line down the bottom, then bevel again and apply that angle to connect them 2 lines. So you should have something which looks like this. Slit, straight, and we'll be getting rid of this piece. Then you should have 2 matching pieces which look like a spear. 2 identical pieces. Correct. Now, what we want to do is determine the angle. First, you're able to push on top of the wood, pivot it around until you've got that much sticking out, which is 20mm. Put this one next to it, copy that line, take your sliding bevel, transfer that down. So you have 2 pencil lines on the wood, which are roughly around the same shape as the top. Next thing to do, you've marked those, is determine what sort of depth you want it to be tilting at. I think I'm just going to guess this. I'm going to be wanting the timber to start from the top here and roughly end up about 10-15mm at the bottom. You can use your saw because it's a nice straight edge. Grab your saw and mark from the top corner of the side what's already cut. So this point, and bring it off to your desired depth, which I'm going to think roughly around there. Draw a nice pencil there. Make sure you don't cut this all the way off. You're going to need a little front lip, so remember that pencil line we put on the front earlier, this one. Get your set square, mark down from the front of that, getting rid of this part. We're keeping this bit, we're keeping this bit, so we'll end up with crooked L shape. Let's get cutting. Cut that from the corner to your desired depth, and then we've got to cut this one down to nothing. But to be honest, we don't need all of that because we don't need it to be that high. So we will just grab the Ableton push again and we will just offer that up. See what sort of length that's going to be looking like. We'll go flush with the top, or a little bit more because you can file it away. We'll go a little bit more just to dial it in and get rid of that. Starting to take shape. This is the overall sort of build up what we're going to be needing, barring a few more different cuts. So we've got long straight, which is going to be basically the main stand for the push. Once I've cut the front in, cut this to length, so that's level with the push there, and I'm yet to cut the angle. You can see the angle. So let's do that. Now you want to be careful when you're cutting this bit, because this wood ain't going to be very strong at the moment. So just take your time. That's roughly how it's going to be sat, and then we need to make another identical one. So let's get the push out of the way, not going to be needing that. Then I've got a jig for the second one. This needs to be exactly the same, but the opposite way around. You can set them pieces of wood back to back and mark up. Like so. And then flip the wood over, flip this wood over, push it up. Something like that. Get this one cut. As I'm approaching this cut at the bottom, I'm looking at that angle there, what I put on the pencil mark. So I'm trying to keep my saw at the same angle, so when I chop this down, it's going to make it easier. Like that. There you go. Not too far off, look. And we're getting rid of all of that. And all of that. Should have two pieces. They're not fully identical yet, but the depth's the same, the angle's roughly the same, and maybe a bit more filing on one of them, but that's not hard to achieve. These are going to sit on top of each other like this, so we need to cut a slot halfway up one at 15mm and a slot halfway down one at 15mm, so they can push onto each other and interlock. So we'll do that now, and then we'll get it sanded down, get it cleaned up, and we'll have a good look what it's going to look like. Mark the centre. That from back to front is 453. 453 divided by 2 equals 226.5. So let's just say 226mm there. Marks the centre. Now what we're going to do is we are just going to come up from the centre and draw a big line all the way, making sure you're using the bottom edge of the wood, because if you come down off the top, that's not going to be a square cut. So you need to come up from the bottom, mark the centre like that. Same on this piece. Yep. Then we want to measure from the bottom to the top on that line, which that is 53mm. Half of 53 is 26.5. So we'll mark 26 in between 26 and 27 there. Same on this. Right, now this is where it gets fun. We've got an offcut piece which could help us. Mark the centre. I've got an offcut of wood and I've marked the centre, and then I'm going to place that on that line what we've just drawn in the centre of this wood, and just do a little mark either side. So give you the thickness of the wood. These have to be precise. Once again, square it from the bottom. Same on this piece. Use a little block to sit it on and line this pencil line up with that pencil line. Then a couple of marks either side. Square them through. Right, now this is where magic happens, because we're going to have to chop one of them out from the bottom and one of them out from the top to create a slice. Follow that pencil line round. I'm going to cut this one out of the bottom. Up the back. I've currently been doing this an hour. This one I'm going to get rid of. Measurements of 26 millimeters. That's what we need to take out of that one. Then on this one we need to take out the top half. 26 millimeters. And on this one we're going to be taking out the top. So on one of them we're going to be taking out the top, on the other one we're going to be taking out the bottom. The width of this is all determined on how thick your wood is, which mine is 15mm, so the channel needs to be 15mm, so that should slot perfectly on there. Right, let's get cutting. Just a quick tip, when you're cutting these bits, try and keep your cut inside the line, so you're keeping the line on when you cut. You can always file it away if it's a little bit too tight. Chisel. Wash. One groove. Same again on this one. Same again. Chisel on the line. Got to bust out my new file. It's getting close. Maybe need a bit more out of this. Try that. Getting closer, I'm getting closer every time. Going, but I want it to be easy. I'm gonna have to keep filing it, but it's getting close now. Trial and error is your work. Trial and error is your work. There you go. There we have it, the finished product. I've done a bit more sanding on it, got it cleaned up, and to be honest, it's looking great. Nice flush edges at the back. Not 100% perfect, but ideal for what it's supposed to be used for. Very easy to disassemble, throw in a bag and put back together. And the great thing about this, and it's a little bit of a coincidence, it also can be used for the Maschine Mark II, or if you're feeling extra fruity, grab your Macbook, throw that beast in there, and there you have it. Universal stand. Did set out just to make it for the push, but pretty much works for any bit of hardware you've got lying around. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it, please like it, please subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, peace out.